feel bad for you.
I don't think about you at all.
If you're watching this video right now, I'd say there's a pretty good chance you have heard of YouTube before. Like many, I watch way more YouTube than I'll willingly admit. It's become a beacon for entertainment, education, instruction manuals, and just an all-around search engine. So when I heard about Mark Bergen's new book, Like, Comment, Subscribe, Inside YouTube's Chaotic Rise to World Domination, I became fascinated with the video platform story, and I picked up a copy. Bergen is a tech journalist at Bloomberg whose extensive work on Google eventually led him to uncover the business and tech behind YouTube, which, unbeknownst to me, has rapidly fueled the growth its parent company has achieved in the last decade. It's without a doubt the biggest acquisition ever made by Alphabet.
Look at me. This is a business.
And just in case you don't believe me, here are some fast facts about YouTube. Number one, it's the second most visited website in the world, behind only, you guessed it, Google. Number two, YouTube generated $28.8 billion in revenue in 2021, a 46% year-over-year increase from 2020. And number three, over 2.5 billion people access YouTube at least once a month. The book breaks the story of YouTube up into 4 sections, so this will be a video series starting with the early days and the founding of the company. I'll highlight the key points about YouTube's inception and the first years after the Google acquisition, and I'll also let you know my thoughts on the book where I can. It's thorough, it has tons of direct and indirect quotes, and several details on the story of the company that you'd probably struggle to find elsewhere.
Let's go already!
YouTube was founded in 2005 by Chad Hurley, Steve Chen, and Jawed Karim, former employees of PayPal living in Northern California. The famous story about Jawed Karim saying he came up with the idea after he missed the Janet Jackson incident at the Super Bowl is more or less contested by the other co-founders. Put simply, the three worked closely attempting to start a company that leveraged the capabilities of the internet in 2004. And they were very much inspired by a website called Hot or Not, where people voted on the attractiveness of photos of different people. One thing that's pretty wild is the startup was initially conceived as a dating website. They planned for people to upload videos of themselves and then connect with potential matches. Eventually, when they saw Flickr, a website where anyone could upload any photo, get acquired by Yahoo for $25 million, they pivoted to allow any personal video to be uploaded. They went through more or less of a shit show during their launch year. They painstakingly worked to keep the site from crashing, tried to entice more people to upload more content, and Karim, a founder and a talented programmer, left the company.
That's it.
What do you mean?
He's gone. He's gone. And that's it.
YouTube's early HQ was above a pizza shop in San Mateo, California. A Michi's if you'd want to go visit it. Bergen notes that in those days they had a significant rat problem from all the leftover takeout food left lying out. And it kind of sounds like it mirrored plenty of other Silicon Valley startups in the beginning. Now I'm sure you're wondering, Haas, why did YouTube emerge as the leader in video streaming platforms? When Google Video, Flickster, eBaum's World, StupidVideos.com, etc. all had the same sorts of capabilities. Well, I'll fucking tell you why. Macromedia Flash Player. You see, Flash was built as the backbone of YouTube, and in 2005, it was the perfect tool because it was available as a free plugin and it was capable of running on any browser and nearly any website. This meant that people could easily append YouTube videos to their MySpace or LiveJournal or whatever they had back then, and visitors could just as easily watch them. This helped YouTube amass a hugely loyal following, which was tantamount to their success. The biggest challenges in the early days of the company were 1, dealing with all the insanely inappropriate shit people uploaded, and 2, the copyright and legal dilemmas. For the first issue, their office manager, Heather Gillette, established a team called Squad, which stood for Safety, Quality, and User Advocacy. They would legitimately sit and watch every video on their website to screen for porn or just horrifying violence. I kid you not, they had to look at horribly demonic shit all day and just decide yes or no. For the second issue, YouTube sort of stayed afloat with some fun legal play. Not gonna lie, I kinda like their moxie here. So if a company threatened suit over copyrighted material on YouTube, they usually just took it down. However, their logic was that if someone posted something copyrighted, like an SNL skit, How were they to know whether or not the uploader had proper permission? So why should they take it down? So YouTube blew up fast. By July of 2006, each day, 80 million videos were watched and over 2 million new uploads were made. It had barely been online a year, but YouTube was already getting buyout offers left and right, and two leaders quickly emerged, Yahoo and Google. Google acquired YouTube in 2006. At the time, many were astonished by the number Google paid for the video platform, $1.65 billion. But I think if we think back to the company's revenue in 2021 alone, this proved to be a wise investment. I never realized how short-lived YouTube's run was pre-acquisition, because even I have memories of using Google Video in high school. The book describes an email exchange where Larry Page notes his interest in buying YouTube as early as November of 2005. He quickly realized how valuable YouTube was as a search tool. There was even greater turmoil in the early days as the scrappy startup was forced to work with Silicon Valley royalty. There was strife over how to monetize the website and ensure sustainable profitability. Different teams were established to garner more polished accounts. There was internal conflict about the UX design and how to determine which accounts to promote. See, back then, YouTube had a team of cool hunters, which curated videos for their homepage. This is how we all got introduced to Justin Bieber. But strategic shifts from Google led them toward leaning on algorithms in the same way that social media websites did. And that's how we got where we are today. Plus, now that they were backed by serious capital, YouTube became a target for a $1 billion lawsuit from Viacom for publishing clips of copyrighted material. While the courts eventually decided that YouTube was not liable for the copyright infringement of its users, after a few appeals, the parties eventually settled out of court in 2014. So it's clear that it wasn't always smooth sailing for what is now one of the biggest tech giants in the world. It's crazy to think what might have happened had YouTube walked away from the deal with Google, something that was certainly on the table when Chad Hurley learned that Google had used its tech to peek on the performance data of the website without his consent. Additionally, it's worth noting that a lot of YouTube's success was due to Hurley, Chen, and Karam wanting a basic-looking and easy-to-use website. The early UI was a major reason they attracted so many creators, which in turn made the business so fucking valuable. The influx of Googlers into the YouTube office certainly led to plenty of theatrics. Reading the book, I'm reminded of the clashing we saw in Aaron Sorkin's The Social Network between the NSYNC guy and Spider-Man. You had one team trying to keep the website cool and playful, with another group looking to figure out how to best rig it for advertising and profit. So that's all for the early days of YouTube and the first steps into the endless hurricane of the online video giant. Next time, I'll focus on how the business grew into the massive media mogul that it is today. Let me know your thoughts, and if you just can't wait for more, buy a copy of Like, Comment, and Subscribe today. It's got the Los Angeles seal of approval.